Sri Ramadhavji. By provision, he is a trained engineer. He's been a pracharak of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh for several years, who had given the Sangh which never comes out, was given a public appeal in the media. When Ramadhavji was the helm of affairs during his public relations, he was the National General Secretary of Bharatiya Janata Party, and he is instrumental of breaking the mold in Jammu and Kashmir when after the post-election relationship, and then in the northeastern states of the country, the BJP getting a foothold over there. Ramadhavji is also the founder director of India Foundation, one of the most talked about think tanks of the country, and which had brought in several international global programs with major speakers. And Ramadhavji is always throughout is busy, and we are very fortunate to have him in our midst. So we thank you and we welcome you, Ramadhavji, for the program wholeheartedly. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaskar.
I think we can now go live. We can start. I do welcome you to speak on this program, which is a remembrance of Swami Ranganathandaji on his birthday, December 15th.
Thank you, Sri Arun Lakshmanji, for giving me this very important opportunity to remember a great son of our country, a great saint, a great scholar, Swami Ranganathandaji, the former president of the Ramakrishna Mission, on his birth anniversary day today. I'm addressing largely the people from Kerala. Kerala, you all are very fond of describing yourselves as people from God's own country. Kerala is God's own country for more than one reason. It is the land of ethereal natural beauty, but it is also it's also divine because of the great men who tread this land, from Adi Shankara to Acharya Ramanuja to Sri Narayan Guru to Swami Chinmayananda and to Mata Amrutanandamayi Amma. Swami Ranganathanandaji belonged to that pantheon of great sages and savants. Swamiji was born as Shankaran Kuti in a village near Trishur on this day, 15th December in 1908. All great men are born with a mission. They are called Karana Janma, meaning born with a mission and purpose. Swami Ranganathanandaji also was one such Karana Janma. In fact, in an interview, he once told that as a young man, he was like many others of his age, in his own words, good at sporting and swimming, but not so good at studies. He was very religious. He used to often visit temples. And he mentions that he used to dream of realizing the Godhead, realizing Shiva. Every great man has a life-transforming moment. In Swami Ranganathanandaji's case, the life-transforming moment came in the form of a book at the age of 14. The book was The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, a famous book written by Swami Nikhilananda. It must be a providence only, because 100 years ago, it was just impossible for such a book to land up in the hands of a village lad in a remote corner of Kerala. Reading the life and message of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, a mystic from Bengal who inspired many great saints and sages, including Swami Vivekananda, touched a profound chord with young Shankaran Kuti and led to an inner revolution. He once described it like a bursting of a bombshell within the mind. At 17, Shankaran Kutty decided to join the Ramakrishna order and landed up at the Ramakrishna mission in Mysore. It was in the year of 1926. His initial duties at the Mysore ashram included washing the utensils and cleaning up the place. But in a few years' time, he was able to get the Diksha, formal initiation into the Ramakrishna order in 1933 by Swami Shivananda, who was again a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna Paramhamsa. Thus was born the great scholar teacher Swami Ranganathandaji, who served the mission for 72 years and rose to become its president from 1998 to 2005 until he attained Mahasamadhi on 25th April 2005. Friends, I had the great fortune of interacting with Puja Swamiji briefly when he was heading the mission in Hyderabad in 1970s and 80s. He was a great scholar and a great teacher. He was a very widely traveled monk, like revered Adi Shankara. This monk, he also traveled from Kerala to the length and breadth of our country. He established the mission in Rangoon in Burma, Yangon in Myanmar today, and he also headed the mission in Karachi in present-day Pakistan, but he headed it before the partition. As I mentioned, he worked at Mysuru and Bengaluru and Hyderabad in the south, and finally, he settled down at the Belur Mutt in Bengal in the last 15-20 years of his life. Swami Ranganathandaji was one of the greatest teachers of Vedanta during his time. Incidentally, the other great teacher of Vedanta of that period, with whom also I am blessed to have very close contact and interaction, was another saint from Kerala, Swami Chinmayananda. Friends, these two great saints from Kerala had been instrumental in carrying the message of Sanatana Dharma and Bhagavad Gita into the lives and homes of the upper echelons of our society, usually westernized and disconnected lot from our dharma. Swami Ranganathandaji authored a number of books, most important of them being the ones like Eternal Values for a Changing Society, and also another book titled Science and Religion. In his book, The Charm and the Power of the Gita, Swami Ranganathandaji gives a man-making and nation-building orientation to Bhagavad Gita. He says, I quote, "In the past, people mostly read the Gita as a pious act and for a little peace of mind. We never realized that this book is a book of intense practicality. We never understood the practical application of the Gita's teachings. If we had done so, we would not have had the 1,000 years of foreign invasions, internal caste conflicts, feudal oppression, and mass poverty. We never took the Gita seriously, but now we have to. We need a philosophy that can help us build a new welfare society based on human dignity, freedom, and equality. This new orientation, this practical orientation, was given to the Gita for the first time in the modern age by Swami Vivekananda." This was a quote from Swami Ranganathandaji's book. Swamiji became the vice president of Ramakrishna Mission in 1988 and its president in 1998. He was the 14th president of the Ramakrishna Mission, which was started by none other than Swami Vivekananda. In the last more than a century, the Ramakrishna Mission has done yeoman service to the mankind by way of both spiritual education as well as social service. It runs countless schools, hospitals, and temples across the world. It serves the poor and the underprivileged in India's remotest corners like the Northeast through countless charitable activities. The Ramakrishna Mission was established by Swami Vivekananda in 1897 with the motto of Atmano Mokshartham Jagad Hitayacha, meaning for self-evolution and universal well-being. It had a spiritual mission as well as a very temporal mission as well. Thousands of learned monks, saints and sages man the Ramakrishna Mission even to this day with this singular objective across the world. Here I would like to mention a phase which is a little unpalatable in the history of the Ramakrishna Mission during the 1980s. When a Marxist government in West Bengal tried to take control of an institution run by the Ramakrishna Mission using some staff protests as an excuse, the mission leadership of that time took an unusual step of approaching courts with a plea that they were not a Hindu institution and hence be granted minority status. Although it was initially seen as a tactical retreat to protect its institution from falling into the hands of the Marxist government, matters went downhill as the case progressed. Lawyers representing the mission went to the extent of claiming that even Swami Vivekananda had discarded Hinduism towards the end of his life, and hence the mission may no longer be treated as a Hindu charity. Mission's arguments found favor with Calcutta High Court, but created deep schism among the disciples and well-wishers. Finally, matters came to rest when the Supreme Court bench headed by Justice M.N. Venkatachalaya disapproved of the mission's argument and declared on July 2nd, 1995 that neither Sri Ramakrishna nor Swami Vivekananda founded any independent non-Hindu religion. It was during this phase of turbulence that Swami Ranganathananda had to steer the mission, which he did with commendable maturity. Swamiji's emphasis was on dharma, which he interpreted as eternal moral and ethical values for the society. He saw in it the core binding force of our society. He detested the usage of dharma nirpekshata for secularism in India. How can any nation progress without dharma? He would question. It should be mata nirpekshata, he used to insist. Friends, Swamiji lived a life of self-effacement, the true life of a saint. The message he imbibed in his early childhood from Sri Ramakrishna's life, God in man, remained his guiding principle for life. Swamiji never aspired for any recognition for himself. In fact, he was chosen by the Indian government for Padma Vibhushan Award in the year 2000 when Prime Minister Vajpayee was leading the country. But Swamiji gently declined it, saying it was conferred on him as a person in his individual capacity, but not for the mission, hence he cannot accept it. He accepted the Indira Gandhi Award for National Integration in 1987 and Gandhi Peace Prize in February 1999, as both were conferred on the Ramakrishna Mission as an institution, not Swami Ranganathananda as an individual. It was such a noble soul. On this very sacred occasion of Swamiji's birth anniversary, I pay my humble homage to that noble soul. Namaskar.
Namaskar, Ramadaji. It was a wonderful talk from your part. It was an overwhelming talk, I would say. And I do thank you for accepting our invitation and giving a wonderful lecture on one of the greatest sons of our soil, Swami Ranganathandaji, on his birthday. I do thank the crowd platform who had organized our technical part. We do thank the Tatome Television who had streamed live the program. And I do thank all the audience on participating in the program. Thank you all. Thank you very much, Ramandaji.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar.